What's up, guys? In today's video, I want to talk about a hidden sector in crypto that nobody else is talking about. Some of these coins in this sector are set up to do a 100x, 1000x, and some of them even a 10,000x. No, that's not a speako or a typo. Some of these coins in this sector are set to do multiples, but there are also going to be some of them that simply just go to zero. Today's video is going to cover everything that you guys need to know about Doginals, as well as a couple of the projects that I'm looking at and how you guys can get started with this. I've talked about Doginals in a couple of previous videos, but I haven't made a dedicated video for this. So today's video is going to cover over that now and how you guys can get started with the Doginals space. First things first is getting a Doginals wallet. There are a couple of options for this, but if you simply want to go with a browser-based wallet, this is Dogy Market. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can access this. But Dogy Market is simply just like Ordinal's wallet. If you've never created a wallet, all you got to do is, this will actually say create wallet. It already says open wallet for me because I already created one. But this is a browser-based wallet. Once you have it, you can go ahead and log in. And once you log in, you can actually click on this and you'll be able to view all of your assets, the different tokens and projects that you have. So here's some Doge maps, punks, whatever. You can view a bunch of different things inside your wallet. And at this point, you really can't get anything until you get some Doge. So you can get some Doge on Coinbase, you can get some Doge on Robinhood, you can get some Doge on Mexi, Binance. Literally anywhere that you want, you can basically get Doge. It's a very liquid token, and simply you just get the Doge and you send it to your wallet. Now, once you get it in your wallet, it's gangbusters. Let's have some fun. Now, if you want a extension-based wallet, you can also go with a couple of other options like ordfine.com, or you can go with a Doge Labs wallet or a DPAL wallet. But again, for the most part, most people are simply just going to be interacting on Dogy Market. And of course, you also have Ordinal's wallet as well. But me personally, I don't use Ordinal's wallet. Most of the liquidity is on Dogy Market. OKX is actually going to be integrating Doge into their wallets as well as their marketplace coming in February. So again, that will bring some more liquidity to Doge. But this is still kind of the early days for this stuff. You really can't get any of these tokens on an exchange except for Dogy. There are 2 exchanges for Dogy right now, so it's not a relatively liquid token. So the best way to get it is via one of these marketplaces. So we've set up a wallet, we're on Dogy Market, and we've funded our wallet with some Doge. Let's go ahead and talk about a couple of these projects, and I'm going to cover at the end of the video the ones that I'm actually bullish on. And there are a couple of more as well, but they're very, very degen. I mean, we're talking, guys, some of these are in like the couple $1,000 market cap. So a little bit of money actually goes a long way with these things. So you don't need to degen it up. Remember, this is uber degen, and it's reflexive to Dogecoin, the Bitcoin market. And of course, well, the devs delivering, if there are any devs. Yeah, there are actually some building over here. There are a bunch of memes though. And I'm mainly just going to focus on the ones that are actually builders and actually have a product. But let's start from the first level is Doge Maps. I'm extremely bullish on Doge Maps. Think of this like Bitmap, but on Dogecoin. Now, Doge Maps are not exactly like Bitmap because the supply is much larger, and that mainly has to do with the block times of Dogecoin. So do keep that in mind. The supply is 5 million or over 5 million and counting, whereas with Bitmap it's about 900,000 different bitmaps, and those again are also counting. But in my opinion, it's a good idea to grab some of these Doge Maps. It's basically the heart of the Doge ecosystem, and you know how the hype goes. Metaverse on Doge Map, like if it ever comes to fruition, that's probably the time to sell. But again, that's the speculation with Doge Maps. If you can, me personally, I would say if you have the capital to do so, look for some of the punks as well as some of the sub 100 or sub 10Ks. You can actually filter based on this on the marketplace. So you can say, hey, look, I want to have a perfect punk. And you can say, I want it to be sub 100K. And you can see there's only one here. And it's trading at 6,666 Doge, which is $543. more of like a meme, but hey. And before we get into the other Doginals, we're going to go ahead and cover over some the Drc20 tokens. These are some of my favorites. But Dogi is your very first one. This is the first mover. This is think of this like your Ordi, but on Dogecoin. So Dogi was the very first inscription that happened on Dogecoin, and people made multiples on these. And the first inscription, you were able to mint 5,000 Dogi for, geez, it was like a penny. And they're currently trading at $2 a pop. Yeah, so 5,000 of them for a penny. Basically, you would turn a 1 penny investment into about $10,000. Those are good multiples. That is Dogi. Now, I don't expect Dogi to make a 1000x, but I do expect this to make at least a 50 to a 100x this bull run if the Drc20 and Doginal ecosystem takes off, which I have some pretty high conviction that will happen. Most of the X's are going to be made with some of the smaller caps, and I'll go over those later in this video. The next one is dcex. This is basically a fundraising token for Dogy, and this was how they were able to start getting listed on an exchange. It sounds bad at first, like, oh, it's a fundraising token. These guys are just selling the token in order to raise funds for Dogy. Yeah, that is kind of how it works. They are basically raising funds to allow Dogy to get listed on exchanges. And this is actually bullish for the Dogecoin ecosystem, not just Dogy, even though you're raising funds, because that brings liquidity in. Holding dcex also allows you to be a part of their exclusive community, and you can potentially get some different airdrops. I do expect this to perform well against Dogy. So if Dogy does well, dcex will do well. These move in tandem with each other. So as one of them is going up, the other is going up. And you can basically see that on the Dogy market. Again, Dogy is basically going to be your leader in this. So as Dogy goes up, this will bring liquidity into the rest of the ecosystem. Next one I want to go over is Hub, and I want to show you how Hub works. I'm extremely bullish on Hub. I look at it like the thesis of being the trac of the Doginal ecosystem. Even though trac is going to be coming over onto Doge and helping to index over here, Hub is actually working on its own indexer, and they have a clean UI that you can actually view your wallet balances and the different assets that you have. I just grabbed a random wallet, and we're going to go ahead and search and see what this guy has. I just pulled it up from one of the dcex holders, but when I entered this wallet address, I can see this dude holds a bunch of Dogy, which you could see here. The amount he holds is 134,507. Hub, they hold 1.6 million Hub. They hold 15,000 dcex tokens, 835,000 Pepe. But basically, you can see the full breakdown here, and you can see all the stuff that they're holding. This guy has some extremely high conviction on Hub, being that he has $114,000 invested in this. And for Dogy, he has about $250,000 in Dogy. But these are some of the different balances and things that you can look at using Doge Hub. You can think of this like a debank to view the different assets you have. You can also view the NFTs you have in your wallet as well as the different Doge maps. Again, the thesis on this for me is that this is going to be like the trac of the Doginals ecosystem. That's why I'm extremely bullish on Hub. Now, a couple of other ones are like Dubi. Dubi is basically creating some form of bridge that allows you to bridge between ERC20s and DRC20s. This is kind of their proof of concept. It's the dual bit. This one is a bit more degen, and I mean, I guess you're able to stake the token, but right now you're able to bridge Paka from Doge into Ethereum, and this will allow you to test it. Again, this is kind of their proof of concept. Then you got another one called Doxx. These guys at least have a website, but again, this website looks like it was created with ChatGPT. Nothing really special, but I do like the name doxx, so it could serve as a really good meme. But again, this is kind of like a launchpad type of thing to where they dox the people that are looking to list on their launchpad. Another one is Zifi, or Zero Inflation Finance. Yeah, that's such a thing. Think of this like your all-in-one DeFi app. But me personally, I'm not super bullish on this one. It seems extremely hypey, and I mean, most of these things are anyways, but it doesn't seem like they have much of a product. It's more of like a bunch of hype and pump-a-middles. Not saying it won't do something, but me personally, I would prefer something like Hub. These guys have actually been building in silence. I mean, sure, they talk about some stuff on Twitter, but they actually released a very good product that you can actually use. Whereas you go on Zfy and it's like, yeah, the new world, this is awesome. Buy Zfy, buy us now, buy Zfy, buy now. And then you go to the white paper and it's just like, I don't know, copy and paste junk. And then, yeah, sure, this is cool, some of the stuff that they're coming, but you click on it, nothing happens. You can't use the services. So again, it just looks like hype to me. But hey, it may or may not do something. And this was also kind of like a pre-sale token. If you go in their tokenomics, like 90% of the supply was sold as a pre-sale. So that just screams insiders to me. Now, another one that I actually really like is wufi. Now, wufi is a bit degen and it's still kind of being built out, but they actually have a product. Again, it's not like Zfy and it's just a bunch of hype and pump. But if you go on wufi, you can actually pair some tokens together. Again, this is kind of the early days of it. This may or may not do something, but they actually have some liquidity pools that you can pair wufi and Doge. Now, does it actually work? I mean, time will tell. We'll see what will happen. But you can actually go to their swapping function and you can swap tokens between each other. So there's not a bunch of liquidity, but this is just connecting my wallet. I have some wufi in here and it allows me to swap some wufi with Doge, and you simply just hit swap. So instead of having like a marketplace where you list the tokens and hope someone buys, you actually get instant liquidity. Think of it like the uniswap on Dogecoin. Now, as for the token utility, at that point, who knows? Maybe it's staking. Maybe they'll have some sort of thing in there like, maybe revenue share like Uniswap does. But hey, it's a me. Now, one that I actually like because of the name and potentially what it could be is dtip. I mean, this thing is a low market cap coin, but if you think about it and if the concept takes off, it's a really good name. It has tip in the name. So, hey, look, this is a tipping token and nobody else can grab that name. Sure, you can do like C tip or B tip or A tip, but Doge tip, D tip. So the thesis on it is, well, it's a good name. And don't worry, guys, I'm going over a lot of these. At the end of the video, I'll recap the ones I'm most bullish on that I actually like, but I want to share with you guys what's in the ecosystem. The next one is dbit. This one is a meme coin as well, but again, it's a really good name. Think of it like Zbit for the Bitcoin machines on Bitcoin, and dbit, I mean, simply it's just a good name. Then you have fiwb or five, whatever you want to call it. This one is also a pretty good meme. It's forget it, we bark, but it's actually another word in the beginning. But I like forget it, we bark better. This one has a really large holder base, so you have a pretty strong community on it, 45,000 holders. Now, a bunch of these are probably Sybil, to where they just send it to a bunch of different wallets, especially because the transaction fees are super cheap on Doge, but not really poo-pooing on their party. I'm bullish on fiwb. They have a strong community and you can actually go on Twitter. They're pretty loud. So that's actually a really good thing for their holder base, and they are pretty strong about their token. Now the next one is Unwa. Unwa is basically a launchpad. Yes, they do have a website, so you guys can check it out. But this is basically a launchpad for the Drc20 ecosystem. If Drc20's do take off, I could see the launchpads doing extremely well. You know how this goes. If you remember over on Bitcoin, actually it's still going on, some of the best performing projects on Bitcoin were the launchpads. Like you had .com and you had TurtSat. Those were some of the projects that did extremely well on Bitcoin, but those were simply just launchpads. And the same concept applies to Doge. And again, over on Ethereum, launchpads perform extremely well. It's because people had to buy the token so they can get in early on some of the other projects that launch. The next one is dosu. We're almost there, guys. We're almost done. Dosu, in my opinion, is one of my favorite ones. This one is a meme coin, but it's the meme of meme, guys. It's basically the actual logo of Dogecoin. This dog you see right here, this is the actual queen of Dogecoin. So this is Kobosu. or whatever they want to call it. That's the name of the Shiba Inu dog. Her name was Kobosu. So think of the logo on Dogecoin. You know, Dogecoin the meme. The logo is Kobosu. Dosu. Dosu is the ticker. It's the meme of memes. So if you were to pick a meme coin, in my opinion, this would be the place to be. And then you have a couple of other ones as well, like Oink. Oink is pretty cool in the fact that it's got a good holder base, and you can think of it kind of like Sats, but on Dogecoin. And then you even have another one called ARCD. These guys are building some form of game on Dogecoin. I don't know. Again, this is just speculation. Maybe they'll roll out a game. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Then you got Remy. This one had a fun launch. This one is more of a meme coin. It's super low market cap coin. But again, it's like a community coin. I don't have super high expectations on this one, but I mean, dude, how do you fade this type of dog? It's Remy. Come on. Anyways, guys, this one's super degen. Anyways, it's kind of a joke. It's lame. Now, some of the collections that I'm bullish on besides the Doge maps are going to be the Francs. I like the Doginal mini Doges, especially because these guys are a low inscription number. You can see here that these guys are definitely sub 100K. So if you can get the sub 100K inscriptions, those are extremely good. I heard really good things about Doginal dogs, and I've also heard some whatever things, because they're like, oh, they're doing wash trade. Well, I mean, that's what most people do anyways, especially with Ethereum NFTs. I mean, the collection is cool. Me personally, I'm not buying one because it's pricey. I would rather buy some Francs. But I mean, hey, if that's your cup of tea, I do think Doginal dogs has a pretty strong community. They're really loud. I don't have any exposure to them. I take no bias with it, but hey, do with it what you will. Dogecoin punks, they have a pretty strong community, but again, it's just like a punk collection on Doge. I do like the Doginal toads. These guys haven't been popping like crazy, but the main reason why I like them is because it's sub 100K. Again, in my opinion, the sub 100K stuff is actually pretty slept on. And then you also have some of the other ones that are also big time sub 100K, like the Doge smokes. But these are really pricey, and they only have 420 of them. So either the community is a bit too small, or maybe it will do something. Just putting these different things on your radar. But the whole entire point of the video was to at least put Doginals and Drc20's on the map for you guys, so you guys can at least take a look at them, play around with them, get started. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I did want to share with you guys some of the different projects on Dogecoin, as well as how you guys can get started. Again, to summarize, it's very easy. You go to Dogi Market, you create a wallet, and then you fund it with Doge, and then you could do whatever you want at that point. It's not difficult. You simply just set up a wallet and you send it from an exchange. Now, there is another meta protocol on Doge, and I'm sure there will be some others that do launch, and this has to do with dipe. If you guys were in the Discord, you guys did mint some dipe tokens. Ethan, one of the dudes kind of behind dipe, he said there is going to be a marketplace pretty soon. We've been cooking for about 2 months. Or no, it's probably been about a month and a half. Maybe soon we'll get one of these marketplaces pretty quick, but we'll see how it rolls. But dipe is, think of it like pipe, but on Doge. The difference between dipe or pipe, whatever you want to call it, and the regular Drc20's is that you don't have to make that additional transaction to make it a inscription. So if you're wanting to go ahead and sell some of these, you actually have to inscribe them and make them sellable. It's easy to buy them, but selling them, it involves 2 transactions. One, to make it transferable, and then the second one is simply to sell it. But it walks you through all that in your wallet, so you don't have to worry about it. And basically, when it shows up in your balance, it'll show like a ticker up here, and it'll allow you to sell it. But to recap, the ones that I'm most bullish on, you have Dogy. Think of Dogy like ultrasound Doge. So if you're betting big on Doge and you'll think it'll do well, in my opinion, Dogy is going to be that reflexive multiple. It's not inflationary like Dogecoin is, but it also gives you exposure to Doge. dcex, think of this like the Dogy club. So like your little exclusive club around Dogy. Hub, think of this like your trac, but on Dogecoin. Dubi is your bridge, your Drc20 to Brc20 bridge. And then you have dosu. Think of this like the meme of all memes. It's the main meme of Dogecoin. I mean, come on. Dogecoin's a meme. You got Unwa as your Launchpad token. You have Wufi, your uniswap of Doge. You have Oink, basically the sats on Dogecoin. You have fiwb, a pretty strong community on Dogecoin. There are a couple of others that I didn't go over in this video, but that should be a brief introduction on Dogecoin and Doginals and how you guys can get started with it. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me what you guys think of this video. It really helps out the channel, and I like making content for you guys. So if you guys want me to cover over a particular topic, drop it in the description or in the comments below, and I'll go ahead and make a video on it. If you guys want to jump in the exclusive Discord where I share stuff that I don't show on YouTube, as well as chat with a bunch of other DeFi degens just like you, links in the description below so you guys can check that out. If you guys are asking about discounts, it's already discounted. Prices will be going up in a week. Proverbs chapter 17, verses 8. A bribe is seen as a charm by the one who gives it. They think success will come at every turn. Bribes are good, but are they really? Peace out, guys.